I want to believe in Bigfoot, and more importantly, I want to believe there's a perfect Bigfoot film out there. That's what Big Feet's Toes of Terror is all about. I wanted to check out some of the more obscure Bigfoot films and some more recent ones, so I happened across Feed the Gods, a Bigfoot film with an interesting twist. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. While you might be watching this video on the Kings of Horror Network, I urge you to click over to my ML Miller Frights YouTube page and give it a like. Please share with all of your buddies. Click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Feed the Gods was released in 2014. It's available on demand digital download and DVD from XLR Raider Media. It's also streaming on Tubi, and that's where I watched it. It's directed and written by Braden Croft. Feed the Gods centers on two brothers, Chris and Will, played by Tyler Johnson and Sean Roberts, and Chris's girlfriend, Britt, played by Emily Tennant, as they find some mysterious clues in their adoptive mother's belongings after her funeral, suggesting the identity of Chris and Will's birth parents. Deciding to follow up on the clues, Chris, Will, and Britt make their way to the small town of Tyndale, which, as we see in the opening segment, is not your typical town. Small statues and local lore seem to suggest the town worships a wild man, a creature that is reported to roam the thick forests that surround the closed community. The townsfolk are more than happy to welcome the trio into their city limits, but they don't want to let them leave. What I liked about Feed the Gods was that it approaches the Bigfoot story from an angle that is pretty original. The knowledge of the existence of Bigfoot by a small town has been done before, but it's done well here as it delves not only into the lives of the people stumbling into the creepy town, but the burden of that relationship on the townsfolk themselves. The story itself is expansive, and writer-director Braden Croft has developed a whole mythology around the town and its relationship with the Big Feets. I also like how the real horrors are the humans, and that Croft makes these horrors dangerous, as town tradition seems to be the most prominent of the responsibilities. Snowpiercer's Alex Ponovic is especially imposing as the lead abductor, who chains people to a sacrificial altar to please the quote-unquote gods. His imposing size and strong performance really makes you forget that this is a monster movie at times, as he's extremely threatening himself. Resident Evil's Sean Roberts and The Killing's Tyler Johnson do a good job here as the siblings in search of their parents. The two actors have the right sense of rivalry here, and their relationship is written well. Tyler Johnson has an annoying, twerpish Justin Bieber look that I just really couldn't get over, though. I get it that they cast an actor who was slight of build to contrast the beefy Sean Roberts as brothers who are very different from one another, but he looks like a stiff wind could knock him down, and it doesn't add to his performance when he tries to play imposing. Roberts, though he is playing a more impulsive and dim-witted brother, is infinitely more likable in the role of Will. Rounding out the trio is Emily Tennant, who offers up another strong performance as the middle woman who quells the rivalry between her boyfriend Chris and her close friend Will. One of the issues I had with Feed the Gods is that it is dark, and I don't mean dark in tone. Much of the film is taken outside at nighttime, and while there are light sources to attempt to light the way for these campers, it doesn't illuminate much. A lot of the shots, even the ones outside the cabin they're staying in, are dimly lit, and I found myself squinting through the darkness just to try to discern details. I'm used to old movies being this dark because of poor quality of film, but this film is more modern, and it's a detail that is unforgivable in these more technologically advanced times. I did watch this film on Tubi, though, so it might be shown at a lower res, and it might not totally be the film's fault. But the main problem with Feed the Gods comes during the last half hour of the film. There seems to be a large build towards something, but the payoff is rather weak. All of the hemming and hawing about Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot only shows up for a frame or two. It looks nice. We only mainly see a foot and details of the mask, but it's better than most Bigfoot movies that I've seen. The film itself gets quippy in the last act, with characters saying and doing things that might cause a laugh, but doesn't feel like a realistic way of reacting to a situation, unless everyone, including the heroes, are heartless sociopaths. So while I admire the original setup and decent performances by the cast, I kind of wish an equal amount of energy was put into the last act with way more Bigfoot action. Things seem to reach a predictable conclusion, but it feels the filmmakers and all involved were more interested in setting up for a sequel rather than make a compelling ending for the original installment. So while Feed the Gods has a nice hook, it isn't a finisher. I'm going to give Feed the Gods a respectable 2 feet and 1 toe. It would have been higher had they stuck the landing. That'll be it for today. Please chime in the comments down below and let me know what you think of this video. How on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own review. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. Don't forget I have 2 new horror comic book trade paperbacks you should look for. Both Gravetrancers and Pirouette, collecting never-before-published issues, can be found in only the finest of comic book stores right now. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thanks so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality. You're